Cambodian women, beauty, strength, and the stories the world rarely tells. When most people hear the words Cambodian women, a few images might flash in their minds. Traditional dancers moving gracefully before ancient temples, smiling faces in markets, or sometimes the narrow stereotypes imposed by travel blogs and social media. But Cambodian women are far more than postcard imagery or romanticized tropes. They are living, thinking, struggling, dreaming human beings shaped by one of the most complex histories in Southeast Asia and driven by a quiet, persistent resilience that rarely makes headlines. To understand Cambodian women is to understand Cambodia itself, wounded by history, disciplined by survival, and quietly determined to rise again. Cambodia's past casts a long shadow over its present. The scars of war, genocide, displacement, poverty still ripple through families and communities today, and women bore a disproportionate weight of that suffering. Many lost husbands, brothers, parents, and children, yet they remained standing when everything else collapsed. In villages, refugee camps, and shattered cities, women became the anchors of survival, raising children, rebuilding homes, and preserving dignity when institutions failed. That legacy did not make Cambodian women fragile. It made them unbreakable in ways that are not loud but deeply rooted. Yet to speak only of pain would be incomplete. Cambodian women are not defined solely by what they endured, but by what they continue to build. Walk through Phnom Penh today, and you will see young women running cafes, launching tech startups, studying medicine, engineering, law, and architecture. In universities, classrooms are filled with female students whose ambitions stretch far beyond traditional roles, not in rebellion against their culture, but in dialogue with it. They carry their heritage forward while reshaping it for a new generation. Tradition still matters deeply. The values of respect, modesty, family loyalty, and community remain central in Cambodian society. And women often carry these values with quiet pride. From the way elders are greeted to the care given to children, to the rituals surrounding festivals and ceremonies, women are the custodians of cultural continuity. The elegance of the Apsara dance is not merely artistic, it is a language of history, discipline, and identity transmitted through female bodies across centuries. In every carefully controlled gesture lives a story older than the modern state itself. But Cambodian women are not frozen in tradition. They are evolving within it. A new generation is redefining what femininity, success, and independence mean in Khmer society. Some pursue careers abroad, others remain rooted locally but push boundaries within their communities. Many balance modern aspirations with traditional expectations, navigating pressures that are invisible to outsiders: the duty to family, the desire for autonomy, the weight of reputation, and the hunger for self-expression. This balancing act is not weakness. It is a complex form of strength. One of the most persistent misconceptions about Cambodian women is that they are passive or submissive. In reality, they are strategic, observant, and deeply pragmatic. Cambodian women often exercise power quietly, through negotiation rather than confrontation, through influence rather than spectacle. In households, markets, schools, and workplaces, they manage resources, resolve conflicts, and shape decisions in ways that outsiders may not immediately notice. Their authority is not always formal, but it is deeply felt. Education has become one of the most transformative forces in the lives of Cambodian women. Over the last 2 decades, access to schooling and higher education has expanded significantly, especially for girls. For many families, educating daughters is no longer seen as optional or secondary, but as essential. This shift is reshaping society at its core. An educated woman does not only change her own life, she changes the trajectory of her children, her community, and often her entire family line. Education for Cambodian women is not merely a path to employment, it is a declaration of dignity. Yet the road is far from smooth. Many Cambodian women still face barriers: rural poverty, early marriage, limited healthcare access, workplace discrimination, and social expectations that prioritize sacrifice over self-fulfillment. Some work long hours in garment factories, construction-adjacent labor, or the informal economy, often with little protection or recognition. Others migrate abroad in search of better opportunities, sometimes finding themselves vulnerable to exploitation. These realities must be acknowledged honestly, not sensationalized, but respected as part of the full picture. What makes Cambodian women remarkable is not that they escape these challenges entirely, but that they confront them with clarity and persistence. In villages, women organize savings groups and micro-businesses. In cities, they form networks of entrepreneurs, activists, and professionals. Across the country, women are increasingly present in civil society, journalism, environmental advocacy, and political participation. Their voices are becoming harder to ignore, not because they shout louder, but because their presence is growing undeniable. And then there is beauty, not merely physical, but existential. Cambodian women carry a quiet grace that emerges not from luxury or excess, but from resilience shaped by necessity. Their beauty lies in simplicity, in discipline, in emotional depth forged through adversity. It is the beauty of someone who has known hardship and yet chooses kindness, composure, and perseverance. A beauty that does not demand attention, but commands respect. For outsiders, especially travelers, vloggers, and digital nomads, Cambodia is often experienced through the surface: smiles, markets, nightlife, temples, cafes. But behind every smile is a story. Behind every gesture, a life shaped by history, culture, and choice. To truly see Cambodian women is to move beyond curiosity and into understanding, beyond attraction and into respect. The world does not need more shallow praise or exoticization. It needs recognition of complexity. Cambodian women are not symbols or stereotypes. They are engineers, farmers, mothers, artists, activists, teachers, entrepreneurs, survivors, and visionaries, often several of these at once. They are shaping the future of their country not through spectacle, but through steady, relentless contribution. And perhaps this is their most powerful lesson to the world, that true strength does not always announce itself. Sometimes it builds quietly, patiently, over generations, until one day the world wakes up and realizes that what it once overlooked has become impossible to ignore. So the next time you think of Cambodia, think not only of temples and ruins, but of women rebuilding meaning from history, crafting modern identities without erasing their past, and reminding us that resilience, when carried with grace, becomes a form of silent revolution. There you have it, folks. If this story made you pause, reflect, or see Cambodia and Cambodian women with new eyes, then don't let it end here. Share this video with someone who still sees the world through stereotypes. Leave a comment telling us what surprised you most, or name a Cambodian woman whose story deserves to be heard. And if you believe that real stories matter more than viral noise, then subscribe to this channel, not for entertainment alone, but for understanding. Because in a world drowning in shallow content, choosing depth is already a form of resistance.